Good afternoon. This is Justin for that good old boat condo emporium. Just wanted to let everybody know that while you're out here running around trying to get all your Christmas shopping done, head on over to CSHR Radio. That's right, CSHR-radio.com. Give them boys a listen. We'll be here all until Christmas time, I guess. Anywho, y'all have fun and come see us. We're right next door to the Buc-ee's, down here off I-95. That's right, Boat Condo Emporium. Come on down.
You're listening to CSHR Radio,
a Pelican Media station.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is WCHR 104.9 and CSHR Radio, broadcasting live right here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and several other freaking places all over the country. Well, world, or it's kind of the internet or something. I'm not sure. But anyway,
no pressure.
Here we are. This is the Crayola Sec Harsh Reality. We'd like to welcome our special guest today, Susie Smith. As always, our returning guest, Harsh Med. I'm going to call him a guest today because he's never on time for the show. So can't really call him a host because he's never on time. So, you know, that kind of thing.
So this is the guy who's not even on camera.
You are.
Oh yeah, I forgot to turn my camera on. Here you go. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, very
See, I'm on camera
Scott.
now. My bad. It doesn't. I do radio, okay? I mean, it's radio. Nobody has to look at me. The only time I use this camera is when I'm on the live. It's like the most useless camera in the world.
I could turn my camera off, right?
No, well, I mean, you can, but everybody's seen you now, so what's the point? Can I turn off my camera? We've already been live for like 20 minutes. Sure, why not? No. Kind of a moot point, but sure, go for it. Turn it off.
No, it
doesn't matter.
Okay. It's a Susieism.
It's a Susieism. So what's on the agenda for tonight? What do we have going on here?
Emily's going to be joining us in a second, and in the meanwhile, we are going. No matter who's joining, we're going to have an Ask Susie Smith anything. So anyone who wants to join the show and ask her anything, that's kind of what the show is tonight.
Ask Susie anything.
It doesn't mean I'll answer with everything, honestly, but you can ask me anything.
Okay, now I have it on very high authority. I don't know if anybody knows this, but Miss Susie Smith is an expert when it comes to current events. And she knows everything there is to know about, like, social media type trivia and stuff like that. So we're going to be asking her a bunch of questions tonight. That's how it's going to work tonight. We're going to ask her a bunch of pop
Trivial
culture
Pursuit.
questions. Yeah, like Trivial Pursuit type things. What is stuff like Kim Kardashian's rear end size? What zip code is that? Different things like that. That's the goal we're aiming for. So, yeah, it's very big. That's all I'm gonna say. I seen that look on your face, like, well, I don't know. That's kind of, yeah, it's pretty big. It's got its own zip code, like I said.
Okay.
So, that's basically what we have going on. Harsh, you want to start with the first question? I mean, you're in your phone looking it up, apparently. So,
all right, now wait.
No. This is what it is. It is what it is. You just have to grin and bear it now.
Susie, what is it?
I'm sorry, you went off into the Matrix for a second, Harsh. What was that?
No, Susie was going to say something.
Oh, go ahead, Susie. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I was just saying that there's supposed to be two people convincing me of one thing.
She's not here yet. I mean, if y'all want to wait until she gets here, that's fine.
Oh, no, go ahead. I didn't know if you were... I forgot. Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
That's fine.
All right, Harsh, you got the first question ready?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is your hair naturally that color?
That's not pop culture. That's a question. That's a personal question about herself.
I thought we were doing Ask Susie Anything.
No,
It's
it was
enhanced.
supposed to be like Trivial Pursuit type things, Harsh. Hi, Susie. Do you know what color your glasses are? Really? Come on.
Tortoise
Give
shell.
her.
I said, are they natural? Later on, then.
Okay, all I heard was natural.
I say it's
Never mind.
enhanced. It's usually much darker, but I lighten it because it's too dark for my face.
So whenever it gets gray, she's just gonna paint it with spray paint
That's right.
and put it in place with Gorilla Glue.
People like my hair, usually when they gray, it grays nicely, like silver. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Did you just say people like your hair when you gray it?
No, people who have hair like myself, like coarse or curly, sometimes their hair turns out like a silvery color as they age.
Yeah, mine just turned gray. Not silvery, just crap year old. You know. Especially my face. Like right here.
Oh yeah. Well, we can't
That was-
control what our.
That was gray in my 30s.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, my beard was. My hair didn't start turning gray until my daughter hit teenager years, and then
That'll
all of my
do
hair went
it.
gray.
For sure, that'll do it.
My daughter's the reason I'm
Yeah,
44 and I look like I'm 85. Okay, Harsh just muted himself and froze all at the same time. Oh, there he is. Oh, well, okay. I don't know if he's...
Can you hear us, Harsh?
Harsh, are you having technical difficulties over there? Blink twice for yes. No.
Hey, Harsh.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
There we go.
So Scott, did you see the next? Now you get the next question, Scott. So
I'm not asking
Ask
questions.
away.
It's my job to try to convince her that she's wrong. That's what it's supposed to be about. I'm
Okay.
being lazy, okay? You have to look up the questions, Harsh. You already laid it to every show. The least you could do is look up at least one question.
this is why.
Say,
I come late to the
Susie,
show
what kind of...
sometimes.
is that
Anyway.
a ring on your finger?
Oh,
Is that a... Are you
No,
wearing
remember, we
earrings?
said Ask Susie Anything. We said it was going to be Ask Susie Anything. Remember in the comment?
Well, you got to
in the
understand,
messenger?
I've literally... Yeah, I get that, but I've literally picked this woman's brain apart, and she's picked mine apart. So, you know, I mean, I really don't have nothing to ask her. I pretty much know everything all the way down to her shoe size, damn near.
oh no.
And, well, that's your fault. Because Susie will get stuck on like one subject, and then the next thing I know, I got like 85 in messages in my inbox.
Don't say I'm like happy.
No. There's a difference because of the simple fact that I don't mind it. But when you mind it and you tell someone to stop it and they don't stop it, that's a big difference.
Absolutely.
It's a very big different. Yeah, that's a very different ball game right there at that point.
Yeah. And I'm way better than I used to be.
I really would hate to see how you were before. Honestly.
Oh no, I meant when I first
Yeah, I probably
met
would
you.
have threw my phone away. Yeah, I probably would have threw my phone in the garbage. Been like, pfft.
No, that's when I was at my worst is when I first met you. And then
Oh, okay. So I got the manic episode, Susie. That's great.
yeah, you did.
Beautiful. The
Yeah.
manic Susie.
Awake all the time, Susie. I'd fall asleep in the chats all the time.
You know, when you start falling asleep in chats, that means you've been in a chat for too long.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what Harsh does. He falls asleep on the shows, not just the chats. Come on, Harsh, you got to do something. I love it.
Harsh,
I
while
love when
you're
you just make
looking
me
stuff
sit here
up.
and carry the whole show the entire time because you're off in your phone somewhere or being late or cooking dinner or whatever you're doing over there? Are you there? Are you going to speak? This is your show, sir. What is wrong with you?
No, I'd rather listen to Scott just ramble on. I'd rather listen to you ramble on for hours and say anything on these
Okay,
shows.
well, here, let me fix that for you.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
just funny.
Uh, oh no.
Okay.
Do is it
Scott's
like
leaving
this
his own
always?
show. Sometimes, not all the time.
Okay.
I mean,
He legit is leaving.
I don't know.
All right, well, let's keep going anyway. Or no.
Trivial Pursuit. I don't wait for people to start asking you questions, but in the meanwhile, let me see. No. Man. So we're supposed to have like something with opposite points of view or something.
Yeah, so like let's say the statement is Santa Claus lives in the North Pole. And so one person has to convince me why Santa Claus does live in the North Pole. And the other person has to convince me why Santa Claus does not live in the North Pole. You know, so one is yes, one is no. And they have to convince me. So whoever convinces me the best wins, if that makes sense. That way, if I get every single question wrong, I don't look like a moron. There's a reason I'm picking people who are the most convincing. Does that make sense? Are you there? Oh no, I can't do the show by myself. Scott, come back to the show. Okay, Harsh. Ask Susie. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Up though with the
Oh, now I can hear you. Okay, so go ahead.
Pole.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Oh, yes, Santa Claus is absolutely lives in the North Pole. He's got his little world there with his elves, Mrs. Claus. The elves make all the toys. Do you know this?
That's awesome. Let me come back in this.
He'll be rejoining here in a second. He's having some technical difficulties with his internet connection.
Okay.
So.
I have to set my phone down for a minute. Is that okay? I'll be right back.
Sure.
I just have somebody dropping something off. I'll be right back.
All right. And And here we are so far on this beautiful weekend. Beautiful Friday night. I don't even know what's going on because the internet keeps cutting in and out. So,
Hi.
Yep.
How are you?
and there you have it. So, oh. And while we wait for Susie to get back, in the meanwhile, let's see any of the comments so far. Oh. There. And while we're at it, we should have hey bud. What up, Brandon? Yeah, while we're at it, we should have Brandon says, how are you? I'm doing great. Just a very interesting show so far for reasons I did not anticipate. Whew. Not Brandon asks, not sure what to get Emma for business. Sorry if I bother you, man. I mean, I don't know. Probably something drawing related or painting related, knowing Emma. So no, that's okay. And right now is probably the perfect time to ask because of the way the show's going. So how's your night? Brandon asks. My night's doing good. I'm doing good right now. Don't know where my co-host is, but I don't know where he's at. But yeah, we're there. Emma says hi. Hi, Emma. How you doing? Enjoying things. Well, you're trying to. You know, and I know Emma enjoys painting. Brandon says, I'm happy for your buddy, Jay. I am too, because at least now it's going to be a lot less nonsense. So, you know.
I'm back.
Yep, Susie's back. All right, so we're supposed to do this like convincing point of view idea again, like we're back in political activism. Okay.
Sure.
All right, so what was the statement you were saying before my internet cut out?
Okay. So one person has to convince me. Huh?
All right. Did I bother y'all? No, not at all. The only thing that's bothersome is my internet connection. Sorry, Susie, go on.
No, that's okay. Go right ahead.
No, I just said what I had to say. So what were we saying about the one person has to convince the other person of their point of view?
So I was just using that as like a stupid example by saying that Santa Claus lives in the North Pole and say you were to convince me that Santa Claus absolutely does live in the North Pole. He's happy up there, blah, blah, blah. And then say Scott were to say, absolutely not. Santa Claus lives in the South Pole, and this is why. And then I'm picking whoever is most convincing because maybe I don't know where Santa lives.
I think Santa Claus lives in Walker, Louisiana, but that's just my opinion.
Walker, Louisiana, eh?
Yeah, Baton
What'd you
Rouge. I think
say?
he lives in Walker or Baton. I think he either lives in Walker, Louisiana, or Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he lives in the North Pole. Scott?
I think he was on the show earlier today.
All right. So, do you want to ask me any questions?
Hmm. Brandon and Emma both say he lives in the North Pole. It says, of course he does. He does live in the North Pole. Emma says North Pole, duh. So I think he lives in Walker, Louisiana, but you know,
You haven't convinced me why.
because I think that's his hiding spot. Because if he lives in the North Pole and everyone goes there, then he's gonna be like hijacked and kidnapped. But if he lives somewhere else and he tells everyone he lives in the North Pole, then no one knows where to find him. So
Is that just him, or would that be the elves making all of the toys? Where do they live?
I don't know. I think the elves are all over.
You do?
Yeah,
Hey
I think
guys.
the elves are everywhere.
Hi.
Hello there,
Hi.
Emily. How's it going?
It's going
Yeah,
good.
you got your painting in the background as usual.
Thank you. I might have to put a mask on a few times. I'm in the hospital with my mom. She's admitted. So whenever the nurse
Oh
comes
boy,
in, I have to put the mask on. Sorry.
Oh
that's
no.
not good. It's terrible.
Sorry for the
I'm.
sorry
I
for the
mean,
delay.
this is like not the best time for you. You absolutely can
Yeah,
bow out if that's what you need to do.
Yeah,
yeah.
if
If
I
you got to
have
be in
to,
the
I will.
hospital, that's probably more important than this show anyway. So
I just
tonight's.
told you guys that I would step in for a second or two just so I could say hey.
Hi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
It's nice to meet you, and I'm sorry about the circumstances.
Thank you. It's not me, it's my mom, but
I
Yeah.
know.
it's
I
just
know.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Thank you guys.
Okay. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. Bye.
See you then. Yep. Then there were two. So, all right. What's a nonsensical topic? What's another nonsensical topic? Voting. Voting doesn't matter.
Does it matter or it doesn't matter?
Voting does not matter.
I don't know.
You can
I think
convince me why I'm wrong.
I think that it can go either way. You don't think?
Why can't it go either way?
Well, you tell me what you think first, and then I'll explain why I think
Well, I
that.
said voting doesn't matter. Voting doesn't matter, and not to rehash everything from 2016 onward, but yeah, basically yeah, I'd rather have you go first because otherwise I'm just gonna repeat my like live streams I've done like 6-7 years ago. So
But I didn't hear you 6 or 7 years ago.
I know, but it was like, unless you want me to just go ahead and finish the talking points now, because
Go ahead.
Voting doesn't matter because there's enough laws and judicial rulings in our country to say it doesn't matter. If you don't believe me, just look at the 2016 election, where the primary was quote unquote rigged against a certain candidate, and instead of having any sort of voting irregularities taken care of during the lawsuit, the DNC said we have the right to pick out our own candidate in cigar smoke filled rooms, and the judges were like, "Yep, we agree." And even in the general election, it's the same way. So and there's way too many voting irregularities that are ever changed, so to be changed. So there it is. Now, why do you think that matters despite all of that? And despite all the fact that we're not even a country, we're a corporation. But go on.
Well, I tend to be a little bit of an optimistic person, so I don't know. I tend to have hope that these things matter and make a difference. I know Scott's cringing. I know it. Harsh. Are you there? I can't hear you. Well, this is going to be the Susie show tonight.
You know, you have someone on your show, Harsh. Playing on your phone is not cool, dude. Just letting you know that.
Harsh. All right. Harsh, I'm going to get going. Okay?
Obviously, Harsh is not paying attention to his own show and is too busy playing on his phone, so we're going to go ahead and boot him off of the show. So, Susie, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing well. And yourself?
I am doing fine. Unlike other people, I will pay attention to you instead of playing on my phone the entire time. I think what Harsh was talking about, I have no idea. Because
It's okay, because when I express an opinion, it's just kind of like my opinion. I haven't like sussed this stuff out. Like if you and I were to discuss this, I'd be like, oh wow, those are really good points. As well as say somebody with an opposite point of view. I tend to like listen to all the views and then pull them in and make them my own. However, this is not something that I literally sat down and put thought to yet, because I think it's an important topic to just.
Well, normally, whatever your feelings are would be what needs to come out. To sit there and actually write it out is one thing, and it's okay to do, but you kind of lose in translation what your feelings are towards something sometimes.
Right.
So
absolutely.
sometimes just talking off the cuff about something is better.
Okay, I can do that too. As long as I don't get attacked.
No, who would attack you? No one here is going to attack you.
No
Okay.
one, yeah. Right, no. But anyway, my internet was cutting out when you were saying something about voting matters. So.
I just said that I don't know what you heard and what you haven't heard, so I'll just say briefly that I tend to be a little optimistic and hope that these things make a difference and matter. I know that there are irregularities, but I also know that there are not. But again, what's the percentage of error for a lot of these different places that had difficulties? And what's the percentage of error for the places that did not have difficulties? And what does is it the voting board? I don't even know what they're called. I'm so sorry. That's how
I mean, if
not
I had to
into
go
this
off
I
the top of
am.
my head,
What?
yeah, if I had to go off the top of my head, I think the places where they didn't have any difficulties was the error was like 3 to 4%, but the places that where it was very obvious there was like election fraud going on was like 16 to 20 at least. So,
Oh, yeah, that's a lot.
but this is stuff from like years. Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, I mean that's
And
what
I
it
also
is. And,
said that this is not something that I've researched or put a lot of thought into. This is
right,
just me thinking, off the top of my head.
right, yeah, this is like I said, this is stuff I remember years ago, not necessarily now because I haven't partaken in any of this stuff. So, I guess we could do another one. I guess we could do another one. I guess we could do another less interesting. All right, we could do one about our. No, we won't do that about him tonight. I will do it tomorrow night or some other night. Trying to think of one. You could come up with the next statement.
What were you going to say you don't want to do? You're cringing.
No, I was gonna mention another. No.
I'm listening.
All right. Oh, powers that be make the powers that be make the internet slow here on purpose.
Okay.
Yeah. So you could say whether that's wrong or right.
So do you want me to let you guys go?
No, I'm saying no, the statement of the day is the internet in this country is made at a much slower rate on purpose.
Oh, okay. All right. I misheard that. So, and why do they do that?
No, that's that's just a random statement. You could say whether that's true or false or whatever.
Oh no. All right. Read the sentence again.
Right. The internet in this country is made slower on purpose by the powers that be.
All right. So in my mind, that's a definitive, absolute.
True or false?
I'm getting there. It's a definitive question for sure. I'm gonna say because it's so definitive and it's not yes always 100% of the time always. I'm gonna say with false.
Okay.
But if you threw a sometimes in there or a hint of something in there, then I'd let it slide.
Right.
I know I have very different views probably from you guys.
Oh no, this one I'm just throwing out there because I just wanted to see what you thought about it. That's why I wanted to say that. But yeah, I'm kind of on one hand I believe it's true, but on the other hand I can see why someone would say it's not. Though I remember years ago reading about where we are when it comes to internet speeds. We're like 25th in the world. When we have the technology to be a lot better than that. So.
Well, okay, but we're 25th in the world in how? Like how did they arrive at statistics like that? I want to know that.
I don't even remember.
How long ago was that released?
Like 8 years ago.
All right, so I'm sure since 8 years have gone by, Why don't you Google it? Pull out your phone.
All right. Internet. Okay, so it has gone up since it is 8 times faster than it was 10 years ago. So it should be. So we're actually at 12th. We're not at 23rd anymore.
Okay, so that's good. We made progress.
Yeah.
My next question is, if you were to compare us to, say, a third world country, or a country that you would think shouldn't be faster than other countries, is that because they're not dealing with as many people, like, using the networks? I don't know what the right terms would be. You see what I'm saying?
No, that is true too. But I'd have to even look at who's ahead of America first nowadays.
I mean, like, if
Singapore, Hong
Sweden
Kong,
were ahead of
Chile, Thailand,
America,
United.
I'm sorry?
They are not. They are not ahead of America. Sweden is not ahead of America. Let me share
Right,
the
but
link. Let me
but
at
I was
least
using it as an example
right.
because Sweden is so much smaller than our country. To compare the two wouldn't be a good
Right.
comparison. Awesome.
Right. Now I will say you could use the same argument for countries like Singapore and Thailand in that case.
Well,
And Chile because they're smaller countries. And
so
United
it's not
Emirates because
just,
of the
you have to take into consideration not, oh wait, you know what? I can't even see. Okay. I zoomed in. I couldn't even see if you could see me or not.
I got it.
I'm sorry?
No, I got it. I'm just zooming in the top 10.
Oh, thank you. So you have to take that into consideration in comparison to all of them. You can't compare
Right.
a midline running country with an outlier. So, and you also have to look at the population per however they measure that. I forget. You have to look at
Yeah.
that too. Do you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So there's like lots of different ways they break down that data. I don't know. I'm pretty skeptical when it comes to statistics.
No, that is true because statistics can be used to be manipulated can be manipulated in certain
Right.
ways. Like the same set of statistics can be used to be skewed in like 1,000 different ways.
Oh,
There's a book
absolutely.
called, and I'm not to get too far into the Bill Gates stuff, but Bill Gates always has a book lying around on his desk called How to Lie with Statistics. And that book's at least 70 years old. So
How old?
at least 70 years old, if not older.
Well, I'm sure the principles still apply. It's mathematics.
Yeah, it was written in 1954 by Daryl Huff.
You're disappointed.
With?
You look disappointed.
Oh no, I'm not disappointed. I'm just trying to get the.
Oh, you're looking up the book. Oh, that's
it says
great.
How to Lie with Statistics by Daryl Huff.
Huh.
Yeah, and this book was written and this book was written in 1954. So
Hmm. Yeah, like I said, principles still apply.
right.
You're manipulating it.
See, there you go. See, wanted to share that for you. There it is.
Yep. Well, I'm sorry I haven't been very engaging.
No, it's all good. Considering
Or,
how the show's gone, I'm
yeah,
not
it's
really
been
upset
a
about
little
anything.
disjointed.
Yeah, well, I don't know why that's the case, but it's been kind of an off show in all honesty. So none of this is really that too surprising.
Well, everybody wound up, well, all chatting in the end. So there you go.
All right, and on that note, this has been another edition of the Crayola Sec Harsh Reality. We thank Scott Sonnier for holding down the ones, and we thank Susie Smith for joining us. This is Harsh Mitts on all of you. The life is harsh to live it, and sometimes you got to color outside the lines. And for those of you at Clown Stock, honk honk. Everyone have a good rest of your day, night. We'll see you. Probably Tuesday. I might do a show on Sunday. Or by myself, but we'll see.
All right. Bye.